Hello, everybody. It is the 4th of May. Look at this. The 4th of May, 2014. This is what you would call, according to that new movie we just saw with Loki. What's his name? The character name? Look, the guy who plays Loki, the
Tom
vampire.
Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston, the vampire movie. He talked
Oh,
about.
you actually saw it? How was it?
He called Wire shit. He's like, look at that shit. It was, I got to be honest. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything. It's a Jim Jarmusch movie. If you're not familiar with his stuff, Jim Jarmusch does a lot of kind of artsy, indie, like long scenes, and kind of moping around, real slow stuff, right? Whatever. And it's interesting stuff. But Loki, Tom Hiddleston is the worst, is like the weakest point in the whole movie, and he's on it all. He is
really?
absolutely. He's not bad, but what's her name? Who plays his wife, Eve? He's Adam, she's Eve. She's fantastic like she is in everything. She looks cool, she acts cool. It's fun. Go watch it. Check it out. All right, so my name is Bill Heinman. You can follow me there on Twitter. This is Gamer Hangout, not Movie Hangout. Jeez. You can tweet us questions during the show if you want, at Gamer Hangout. You can also follow the show at gamerhangout.net where it goes live. You can YouTube, whatever. Just go check it out. It's easy to know. Look who's with us, Christine. It's Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi,
Cindy.
everybody.
I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a really long time, yeah.
I asked her why, and she said...
I had no reason.
See, I was hoping, Christina, that she maybe had something that came up, or that but it just turns out she just didn't like us anymore, didn't want to hang out anymore.
No, that's not true. No, I was doing a show with Zentetsuken.net for a while, for Had on Live. So, but I gave that a rest too, so I'll probably come here once in a while too.
I saw that was Final Fantasy stuff, wasn't it?
It was just Final Fantasy 14, which I play, but honestly, I play too many games to just concentrate on one, is what I'm thinking. And there's other things in life that I want to do, so I'm just going to be all-around gamer girl now.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Since it was a Final Fantasy hangout, did they kick you out because you weren't like the right class?
No, absolutely not.
They're like, sorry, we need a white mage, or I don't know the term, but whatever.
Actually, there's still my posse in Final Fantasy 14. We're in the same guild or link shell, so no, it's all cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but all right, cool. Link Shell's a guild. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, fine. Okay, and Jonathan, how are you doing, Jonathan?
I'm fine, thank you, despite the hour.
What time is it? You're in like Ireland, right?
It's about 10 past 1 at the time.
10 past what?
Yep. No work tomorrow.
I said 10 past what? And he said, yep.
Sorry, 10 past 1.
Oh, 1. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Amy said that you're not going to sound Irish or something. Is that what she said?
Yeah, I've never really had an accent. I don't know why.
I
blame television.
But you're seriously like an Irish guy.
Born and bred.
And you have a little. I can hear it there. I can hear it.
Only
there.
if I'm tired. My wife's American, so we'll blame her.
Okay, well, blame your wives is always a good policy. That always leads to marital wonderfulness. All right, and Christina, how you doing, Christina?
Good.
Christina, we were talking about the eFanFest. You did not go. Oh, wow, more problems with my thing. You did not go to eFanFest, right? But you watched some of the vids.
No, I didn't go. Usually I am heavy release season for me, and this was, I work at a major tech company, so Heartbleed happened, so it was like,
Okay, while we're talking a little bit about, while you bring it up, was it a big deal or not, really?
Oh, yeah. Well, some people were more freaking out and patching for reasons that they didn't need to. There were only specific versions of OpenSSL that were impacted. So.
Okay, so who do you think it impacted the most? Like large business users who have like 1 million people on their network using email, or common people like us who probably I keep really good passwords. I don't know about you guys, but
well, I mean, it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. It's purely dependent on what version that was being used and was prevalent. Okay. So if you were kind of a little bit behind, which usually smaller places usually are because they don't usually run on the latest and greatest and bleeding edge, then you more than likely weren't impacted. It was actually the newer versions of OpenSSL with the problem.
Okay, so I keep solid passwords. I should be pretty safe then, right?
It's irrelevant to passwords. It's basically people can kind of like get in the backside and watch and sniff and watch things go
right,
through.
But isn't it though that if your password looks like a password, they'll be able to find and correct. This might be a myth or whatever, but if your password is a bunch of random whatever, that's a little more hidden.
Oh yeah, well, So there's two sides to the argument. If you have something like that where it's more complex, then yeah, it's a little harder to guess, et cetera, et cetera. But technically, if you did something like horse staple glue battery with like capital letters at the beginning of each word, that's actually more of a secure password.
I've heard this. But also, I think that I've told people before, because I had a friend from, I think, high school. She's not a techie person at all, and she was saying, I've been hacked in Yahoo. And I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you were hacked. It means that maybe Yahoo was messed with, and they got, you could have had the best secure password in the world, and they got it through them, not through you. So.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Very cool. All right, so we're going to be talking a little bit about what we've been playing, just general crap, catching up because we took a couple weeks off, and because Cindy's here and Jonathan's here, and we don't know who these people are. We just found them on the streets of New York City. But Jonathan, why don't we talk, since you're our special guest, talk a little bit about what you've been playing. Now, you don't have to go through the whole entire list of your life. Just if you want to give us the highlights.
Well, at the moment, mostly I'm playing The Elder Scrolls Online, along with, I think, everybody else.
Probably. I'm not playing it. Nope.
Well, fine, not you then.
Okay, tell me, Jonathan, what you like about the game, because a lot of people are giving it a hard time and not really hearing. I'm hearing a lot from.
I'm a mutant. I've never played a Bethesda or BioWare or Blizzard game before, so.
Gasp.
That's why.
I know.
That explains.
Yeah, so I'm playing The Elder Scrolls, and I really enjoy it, and my wife is playing with me, and she really enjoys it, and my beard is eating my microphone.
Beard's getting in the way all the time.
Yeah. So I've never had the experience with Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls games to compare it to anything, so...
So you can actually appreciate the MMO for what it is then, basically.
Yeah. For me, it was a step up from other MMOs, so I enjoy that part. And if it's a step down from Skyrim, well, I miss that.
No, see, I don't think that's it. I don't want to give too much power to that theory that Skyrim players will hate it because it's not Skyrim. I think video game players can section their love and their hate pretty well. You can like certain games in a Cindy, you're a Final Fantasy fan. You know this probably all too well. You can like certain ones in a series and dislike others. Online versions, offline, whatever. So I think we can segment. We're not like Skyrim was the best, so online version sucks. It wasn't like that. I think for me what it was it just surprised me that this company that made that kind of was their brand was open world exploration and this grand epic, along with you had linear content as well. Don't get me wrong. You did certainly have that with the main quest stuff. But coming from that company into an MMO that seemed to me, at least initially in my small time with it, to be such kind of a cookie-cutter MMO, except for a few things, that surprised me. So, but what do you think? Now, you've compared to other MMOs, what do you think?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, right. I do enjoy it. Like, it is a theme park MMO. I am following the story. Some of the story is idiotic. Like, I don't think in the Old Mary Dominion I've been surprised once. He did it. She's the bad guy. That guy did it. Easy. So...
Yes, but we all know the MMO players don't play the game for story. They just want to get the loot.
Unfortunately, I do. I'm a role player as well.
Yeah, I'm like, that's me. That's not everybody.
No, I know. It was a joke because we all know how many people. I mean, I like. I like the fact that they deliver it with voice acting. That's always great.
Yeah.
Isn't it surprising though how even with the best voice acting in the world, you'll still have people who skip all of that. They just don't want to hear it. Like,
oh yeah.
So. That's just kind of the par for the course with MMO players. It's kind of part of the hamster wheel. But other than that, what else do you like about? Actually, let me ask you this: what do you dislike about it the most? You think? Not to harp on the game. I'm just saying, what do you?
Definitely how bloody obvious the story is, and they try too hard for moral ambiguity. So you'll have a quest where this guy's done a stupid thing, and he's tried to cover it up, and he's tried to be good. And trying to make it grey so you have a tough choice, they just make it idiotic. It's, no, he's an arse. Kill him.
I see what you mean. So they're trying. Or you think they're doing that because they want to allow like every type of player to enjoy the.
I don't know if it's every type of player. I think it's more to go, look, we have stories and you have to make decisions, but the decisions end up slightly meaningless because no, kill the idiot and move on. It's not going to have any great effect. Or if you want to see it, roll up another character and then not kill the idiot.
Christina, you're still playing it, right?
Here and there. I have been pretty busy in the past month, so It's really weird for me to not be Korean on and being a Korean on an MMO launch. So.
Well, okay, so Cindy, you played it for a little while though, right?
Yeah, I did. I play. Where am I? I don't even know. I played it when it first came out, and I played it for a few days in a row, and then I haven't touched it since. Actually, you know what? It made me want to go back into Skyrim, so I played Skyrim for a while.
Yeah, I did too.
And I keep thinking that yeah, I'm gonna go back soon, but no, I just keep playing other things. So, but I will go back. I'm not abandoning it. I love how gorgeous it is. I
Yeah.
like the crafting. I love the exploration's actually pretty good. I even know there's a lot of sections and areas and that kind of stuff. I love that there's treasure chests and there are a few unique things to find if you go off the beaten path. That's definitely my favorite thing about it.
What level or whatever did you get to? What about how many hours? I don't know if there is a
I
level
don't.
the measuring point.
I guess so. I don't really remember. I think I was somewhere before 20.
Okay.
So I'm not too far at all.
Now
Yeah,
Brandon's
no.
laughing at you for some reason. Why is that, Brandon?
Jonathan.
Oh,
And
did I say Brandon?
yes.
Where did I get Brandon from?
No, my problem is I've got far too many alts, so I think my highest is 12, and I've been playing on and off all month.
Right. Well,
Oh, okay.
that's a
I have
typical
8
thing.
characters.
That's a typical thing too, and a lot of people saying, "Well, you're not experiencing the game." It's like, no, if you find something you enjoy, which might be rolling a new character, creating a new story, exploring those new levels, or like in Vanguard, I used to like to explore all the beginning areas of all the different the 3 continents, for example. That's still game content is still very valid. So, do you think though that you're going to get above those newbie levels, or did you in beta?
Oh, in beta, no. I think the highest I got was about 15, but I definitely will in the end.
Okay, but you know you're getting your type of gameplay out of it. Christina, how did you get into it? What level?
I did about the same. I got around in the low mid-teens during the beta stuff. I've basically just rolled the character, and then I had convention and heartbleed and vacation and heartbleed again when I came back. So
That's right. You went to PAX East?
yep,
Okay, this is the Boston one, right?
yeah.
The one that smelled like hot dogs?
You know, they say this, but I didn't smell it. To be
No,
fair,
your
I
nose
have
was-
allergies, so
right,
yeah,
and your nose was accustomed to it pretty quickly.
probably.
You know those people who dissect the bodies, you know, the corners and all that stuff. They don't smell it either. You know, somebody told me that they said the entire second level smelled entirely of hot dogs the entire time. So it's pretty bad.
That wouldn't surprise me, given the number of vendors that they had around the area making both sausages and.
I don't think
hot
it
dogs,
was.
so.
I think it was human sausage we were smelling. Probably it's like
That
the
kind.
funk, human funk. Speaking of conventions, Christina, or I'm sorry, Cindy was just at one. I'm sure she knows the smell we're talking about. If you go to a nicely packed convention, you're going to have a little of the funk going on. They say that Comic-Con in San Diego is incredibly smelly. It's like a haze you can see floating over, so that's kind of scary. But at PAX, so what did you think? Because I wanted to get a little report from you, but that was a while ago. But did you have a good time? Did you see some cool stuff, or was it just okay, like some people said? Christina,
I'm sorry.
PAX. You went to it.
I did.
And
And
what
then
did
you
you
went
think?
talking about San Diego Comic Con, and I'm like, what?
That's right. I make
okay.
people when I talk people zone out. It's fine. What did you think of PAX?
It was surprisingly indie heavy, which was kind of nice. I mean, you got to see a lot of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily have seen otherwise. I stopped by the booth for the folks that were doing games for the Cartoon Network. A lot of little indie games there. I did a little bit of a tour through the indie alley that they had going on. I did stop at a couple of the bigger ones. I stopped at Bethesda, speaking of Bethesda, and they had the Borderlands 2 review, and they were talking a little bit about the DLC. But more importantly, I stopped at Evolve. Awesome.
The game Evolve, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen this. I haven't seen much about it, but it's like I saw a bunch of things with monsters or something. What is it
So
about?
basically, there's a group of 5 people that are playing. 4 people are playing together in a cooperative mode, trying to catch the 5th, who plays a giant monster. So you're trying to basically capture and neutralize the monster before he evolves. There's 3 layers of evolution, and you have different abilities. Like there's one person who's the medic, another person who's a trapper, basically another guy that's just like your tank. He walks in and he's just assault type. And then there's another guy who's like a utility scoutish type player. So you're kind of trying to work together cooperatively in order to kind of track him down, follow him, slow him down, and otherwise take care of him. And of course, I played the medic and got completely targeted by the guy playing the monster because, of course, it's the heal bot. It's PvP. Who are you going to go after?
What size are these maps? Are these like a map that are they going to have a server that you? How's it going to work as far as like connecting into the actual zone to play in or whatever?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm guessing it's probably along the lines of what we have now for online matchmaking type things. So you kind of connect to a central server and everybody goes together into one.
Okay, or maybe Steam or something. Because I've been enjoying the Steam's multiplayer stuff where you can invite a Steam friend. I thought that was pretty cool. And Cindy remembers this. I was such a Steam hater for such a long time. I'm so surprised I like it now. But that's because my computer is beefy enough to not really notice it running all the time like that. This is funny you're talking about that because do you remember GoldenEye, the James Bond game, right?
Vaguely, yeah.
Nintendo 64. You guys are all too young to know this.
Yep.
Hey.
I remember.
Yeah. Do you remember you could fight? You'd split the screen, and one would shoot, be Jaws. Well, what we used to do, I think you could have 3 people, if not 4. I think a max of 4.
You could have 4.
Yeah. When you had 3, it would split top and then to 2 in the bottom, right? And so we would take, when you frame a picture, mat board that you frame a picture with. We had that because we were framers at the time, and we would glue it onto this TV and split it so you couldn't see each other's screen, and we'd be playing on this. And a TV is 640 by 480, whatever it is. So we'd be playing, and it sounds like that, and that was one of the funnest things. And ever since I've been a gamer, really since '99, since into MMOs, I always thought, why don't they do a game like that where one player plays the god or the monster or the whatever, the Terminator is what we used to call it, and everybody fights him. So did it seem like the gameplay was pretty smooth?
Yeah, so when they sat you down for the demo at PAX, they had the 4 players on one side, and they were like facing the guy playing the monster. But what was nice is they had 2 devs, and everybody was wearing a set of headsets, and the dev was coaching the 4 players on one side, and the other dev was coaching the guy playing the monster on the other side. So they didn't just kind of toss you in and say blindly, "Here you go."
Yeah.
They actually walked you through that, which was actually made it a much more enjoyable experience, which was kind of awesome.
Is this all platforms? Did they say or?
They probably did, but I don't remember. I think we were playing on the not the 360, the Xbox One, because I remember the controller was a little wonky.
That's cool. Very cool. So what else did you see? Anything else worth seeing there that you think that was just really super awesome? Granted, this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, so.
Yeah, I was playing a couple of other demos. Like the Wolfenstein demo was kind of surprisingly disappointing. The demo was confusing enough that they actually had somebody walking around telling you where you had to go.
Yeah, I've been through demos like that, and you're like, I understand. I'm kind of having to explain, like, because if you're a reporter, especially if you're press, you go in there and you need to know right away, and so they want to get you right in.
Yeah.
So I can understand explain that stage, but sometimes you'll just sit down and be playing, and they're like, no, don't do that, don't do that. And you're like, well, I can do it. So they.
It's like, if I can do it, why are you telling me no?
And the thing is a lot of times when they have a lot of especially the major companies, if they have a demo playable at PAX, they're probably pretty. I'm not saying they're ready to go, but they're definitely. It's not an alpha. Yeah. So it's kind of surprising you can't. But I guess it just depends on the game.
Well, I think. All right. To clarify first, Evolve is on Xbox One, PS4, and Steam. So there you go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And Wolfenstein, it's like whoever picked this particular thing is for the demo was just not thinking about what the consequences would be of just picking somebody up and dropping them in the middle of the story without having had any of the lead-up gameplay to teach you how to do stuff.
Right.
It was a horrible choice for a level for a demo.
Okay. I've never been a Wolfenstein fan, but I know people are fanatical about it.
Well, it was like literally the first game I ever played on a PC, like when I had bought one when I was really young, and it was just, a nostalgia thing for me. I'm like, oh look, Wolfenstein's here, I should try that.
Wasn't it originally like a side shooter kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm remembering it on some. It's coming back to me. All right, so what else did you remember? Anything cool besides the funky hot dog smell?
There were a lot, and I mean a lot, of League of Legends cosplayers that went.
Oh my god.
It was insane. Like the first day there was, 50 or so. The second day, there was like
Yeah.
300. It was insane.
They're all over, and they'll be like, look at this character, and it's just a generic looking character, be like some girl in a midriff thing, and they're like, no, that's what's your call from League of Legends, and there's like 400 characters. I don't know how many billions of characters are in that game.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like 50 characters that each have like 7 skins, and it's like, how am I supposed to remember all of that?
But if you ever watch, there's that cosplay show on Sci-Fi, which is, by the way, is absolutely horrible. They make as a person who's
Heroes of cosplay.
What? Yeah.
Oh, I like that show.
No, Cindy. Let me say this. I like it too when they show them doing the actual thing, which is cosplaying, right? But then they make the girls seem like they all hate each other. They try to get them catty. You know what I'm talking about?
It's reality cosplay. Yeah, I know, but I still like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of like if you watch the makeup show on Sci-Fi and the new Jim Henson one. The reason those are really great performance shows or kind of performance-based reality shows is because they're actually using their craft, like they're making the puppets or makeup. In this cosplay one, half of the show is they make it seem like the girls are all catfighting because they want to make it dramatic and stuff. And it's real edited, and there was I don't know if you remember the episode, Cindy, where they went to a con and everybody was yelling at them, get out of here. They were all Doctor Who people and stuff. Well, that was all set up. The girl who was there wrote the blog on how they all set it up, had pictures and stuff. So it's kind of like cosplay is one of those things, like when you're at a con, you can tell the people who kind of have found a character they really like and a person who just maybe was attracted to the character, which is fine either way. I don't care if somebody just wants to dress up. They don't have to know the character or not. But there's so many of them out there, especially in anime, League of Legends. I have no idea who they are. They all have like an umbrella and like a bow in their hair or something. The only one, speaking of cosplay, as I keep looking at Cindy, I keep thinking of Death, because you just did Death from Sandman, right?
Yeah, I did.
So how did that get received? Did people recognize you?
At first, I didn't get up. Sorry, I'm hearing an echo of myself.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Okay, that's weird. Anyway, at first it didn't seem like there was a lot of people that was noticing at all, so I was just walking around and, sad. It was just whatever. I was still happy. And then as soon as I got into the comic artists booths and stuff, then all of a sudden I started getting winks and people. And then one guy, I was just looking at stuff and I had a big smile on my face because I was having an awesome time. And he said, "I just love the smiling face of Death." And I was like, yes, thank you, finally.
Cindy, would that be a milady comment? Or would that not be?
I don't know how to tell one apart. I don't think, because to me I was really hugely flattered by it, so I was not creeped out at all.
Christina, are you going to be on my milady comment blog?
I didn't realize you had a comic blog.
No, milady comment. Okay, a milady comment is when a guy goes on your YouTube video or your blog, and all that's on. You know this. We've all written and stuff. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I keep calling you Brandon. You know this as two extremely attractive male characters, and we get catcalled all the time. But like you write a press or something, and it's just like your little picture down there, and all these comments. And there's the milady comment talking about your blouse color or something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking to Christina, but if you know too.
No, I know what you're talking about. They're like. I think we actually, when I first came on Gamer Hangout, I got one of those. So. Oh
no! I have a feeling you've gotten them before this, Christina. But here's the deal: I think a lot of, you'd have to tell me I'm not a woman, I'm not a female, anything. My wife gets it a lot, and other people we know get it a lot. But I was going to start a Tumblr blog collecting. We call them Miladies now because Amy Schumer did a video. Look it up on YouTube, the Milady. It's a little app you get on your phone that tells you when the Miladies are around. And it goes, boop, boop, there's one there, and he walks up to her, and he's like, "Milady," and he gives her a flower, and she's like, "Oh, God." Here goes the, anyway, I'll explain it sometime and link the video, but that sounded like a Milady comment to me where he's like, "Milady, the smiling face of Death," and you're like,
oh, gosh, that's awesome.
See, but for some reason, some people don't notice them because you hear them constantly. I
don't have much of a problem with it. I mean, it's pretty harmless.
I'm constantly getting girls like catcalling. It's ridiculous. I can't walk down the street. I mean, look at these guns. Okay? Can't walk my dogs, and ladies like. Have you seen that French film where they reverse it? Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yes, I've actually seen that, where it's like women catcalling the construction workers.
Oh, the women are topless running down the street. And I thought, oh, it's France. They do that anyway, right? But no, they were like reversing The very first image is that, and I was like, should I share this? It's got like a naked lady on it. It's really good. Anyway, so catcalling miladies. We'll talk about that later. And what's really funny is on last Game of Thrones last Sunday. Spoiler alert. Podrick
Read
says,
the books.
Yeah, he says, no, I didn't read the book. And Podrick says, "Milady," and it's the most funniest moment in the life. I mean, there's gifs of it. Okay, so Christina went to PAX, had a pretty good. So anything else real quick before we move on from that you can remember? No Milady comments.
No, I mean, it was kind of nice to see things going on. There was, of course, the typical cosplay drama, because at every convention there is some kind of cosplay drama where apparently somebody was pretending to be somebody who was working for the convention, demanding to see people's credentials or whatever, and I'm like, who would fault? You know what? Never mind.
Okay, PAX. This is I will never go. I mean, PAX is coming down here to Texas even.
Yes,
and my wife looked at that and said, I'd be almost tempted to go if it wasn't PAX, and I'm like, I completely agree. If those two guys were cut off from it, I'd probably go. But there's
PAX
always
is cute.
Is what?
It's cute. It's tiny. The first
that.
convention I ever went to, I went to Gamescom in Cologne in Germany.
No, that's a big one.
That's huge.
That was my first. I had no idea what to expect from a convention, and then we made the journey over to Boston for PAX East, and it was tiny.
It's not.
Where's the rest of it?
Maybe PAX, the other one might be large. I don't know, but PAX is.
Let's go to Germany.
PAX East is actually bigger than Seattle at this point in time.
It's very large. It's not a small con.
Yeah, I really do want to go to Gamescom at some point in time because I hear nothing but awesome things.
I mean, if we want to compare,
stay here.
I'll come over there to go to Gamescom. If I can do some LARPing, by the way, I want to do some German LARPing. But I think if you compare it to LARP, it might not be the biggest world, but the thing is that it's gotten so much drama connected to it, especially if you follow certain circles. It's just like, oh my god. But the big thing about it, I was going to say, when you said you're surprised how many indies there were or whatever, there was a couple PAXs ago, maybe in the last one, can't remember. One of the indies went and said, here's how much it cost to attend PAX as an indie. And I don't want to quote it, but it was tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
But at the same time, they had it wasn't just the booth rental. They also paid for the monitors and all that stuff they didn't necessarily have to pay for. But it's ridiculous to say that it's kind of like saying that, and I think it'll get closer to this as time goes on. It's going to become more like South by Southwest, which years ago, when my band even was able to play it, you could actually find independent little bands showing up and playing. And now it's like Michael Stipe is there and REM, and it's like a major thing. And I think that's probably what will happen to PAX. My feeling is that the two guys from PAX will pull off from it.
They kind of have started doing that already, especially with all of the shoot-offs. Like, there's PAX South that's happening in Australia and what have you.
Yeah.
There's still going to be like, the draw comic panel thing that they have, but it feels like in a lot of respects they forked off the business handling of it. But as long as it's going to have Penny Arcade attached to the name by proxy,
well, I think what they'll do is, to me, it was similar to what happened with Dragon. There's a whole bunch of weird echo, whatever the hell that is. Who's got the robot speaker? Who's inside a Dalek right now? Like, what's her name from the last Doctor Who? Which I didn't like that companion, by the way, that much. That she was.
Are you kidding me?
Clara, it's lovely.
Clara, thank you.
Adorable. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I don't want her to die or anything.
You stuck with her for a while, I think.
And by the way, the last Doctor Who, Matt Smith.
Yes.
Yeah. He was.
He got accepted into the Terminator thing. Did you see that?
Yes. What?
Yeah, he signed up for the Terminator reboot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know about that, but he's not a good Terminator.
No, he's not the Terminator.
I know. That would be funny, though, because he'd be like, hi. No, he was one of the best recent Doctor Who's. The last guy I couldn't stand. The one.
Oh, my God.
David Tennant.
Yeah, I couldn't stand.
Shush.
No, give me a break.
Yeah, you're going to get smacked by...
I'm a Tom Baker guy. Sorry, I grew up on Tom Baker. But anyway, so what was I talking about, though?
PAX.
You went off a
Doctor Who
tangent.
and companions, I think.
Yes, PAX. I thought my idea, my hope was that what happened to Dragon Con when you had the controversy with the guy who co-started Dragon Con with all his BS, that craziness, they basically forced him out. I figured that eventually all the bad press that guy from PAX, from Penny Arcade, he just cannot not put his foot in his mouth. I figured that they would, it's not just them running the thing. It's got a panel of people that help run it, and it's making a lot of money, or it's doing pretty well. There's a big cost attached to it as well, of course. But I figured the bigger it gets, the less they'll do. I think they pulled off their news site, didn't they? They stopped using that.
Yeah, I remember seeing like Ben Kuchera being let go and joining another site or something.
Remember they did a Kickstarter for like $1 million so that their site would be ad free,
Yeah.
which I thought that's fine if they want to raise it, but it's just that kind of gimmicky stuff they're always doing, and plus their comics sucks. But anyway, don't get me started about that. But I'll go if they're not attached to it anymore, definitely, because I just don't want to support those guys in any way, shape, or form.
Ben's on Polygon. He's great.
Oh, is that where he went? Sweet.
Yeah, he got a lot of stuff once he went over to PAX. All right, so who else are we talking to? Cindy, did I ask you what you've been playing? I don't think we have we?
No.
What have you been playing, Cindy?
I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV, shocker. So I'm trying to get the main story done so I can actually pull away a little bit and just do other games. I am getting into Archage, I believe.
Wait, how are you getting into
Surprised.
Archage? Are you in the other country? Is it in beta or something?
Yeah, it's you can buy a Founders Pack right now and play it right away if you want.
I had no idea.
Yep. And I was really surprised. At first, I was always really interested in that game, but I was kind of PvP. And I'm not a PvP player, so there's probably only so far I can go in the game. But I was like, I'll just try it anyway. And I love it so far. I really, really enjoy it. And it's got all the things that I like housing and planting stuff.
Yeah, I'm not working massively anymore, but when I did, and it's still this issue, some of the people working there were obsessed with that, and it hadn't even come out, and I'm like, well, of course it's got the golden sheen of a brand new game that's not come out yet, but they were obsessed with it, so.
I'm also playing SWTOR again. I'm actually recording the Jedi Consular story, and I will be putting the storyline up on my YouTube, and I'm also playing Dragon Age Origins again because I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the cinematic versions of those games so I can watch them with my friends and my family. So that's pretty much it. And then I went to Calgary Con.
Yes, so you went there as Death, and what else? Didn't you dress up as something else?
Yeah, I dressed up as Death, and I was gonna do Dawn from Contrast, but I ended up not because
While you're saying that, Cindy.
yeah, the day we were leaving was the day I was gonna dress up as that on Sunday, and I didn't want to be stuck in the car with my tiny pants.
Okay.
So it's like,
Wait,
no.
say that
It's
again. What?
completely valid.
Excuse me, my lady. What was that, my lady? Say that again, because you drove like 9 hours. While I'm finding this picture of you as Death real quick.
We drove all together. It was probably about 10 hours and a half to go there because we live north of BC in Canada, and we were going across the border down to Calgary, which is in Alberta, and it's way south. So, it was a lot of fun. And it was really affordable considering how far it was, and we were there for 3 nights, and it was super fun. And I went to a bunch of panels, and I'm trying to remember. Oh yes, I did steampunk. Is the other thing I dressed up as. Yeah. So
Well,
that
what
was
do you mean,
really
like-
well received.
Now, Cindy, do you mind
Yeah.
if I show this picture of you dressed up as Death you had on your Twitter profile?
No, I don't mind at all. Go ahead.
Because I don't know where the hell it went, so keep talking about your steampunk.
That's why
outfits.
I put it on the internet. What else can I say? Yeah, the steampunk one was great, and it was on the day we're getting our pictures taken with Matt Smith and Karen Gillan. So I looked freaking fabulous on that
Did
picture.
she have her shaved head?
Yeah, she cut her hair really short. So
You know-
unfortunately, the sad story about that. Hold on. We only had 6 seconds with them in the photo booth because I guess the con didn't expect them to be so freaking popular. Who knows why? But the lines were so huge that we had to be rushed through. Anyway, my daughter is a huge Amy Pond fan, and she didn't even recognize her. So I
Aw.
felt so bad because Amy, she didn't have her hair.
Okay, so
I was
there's
like,
Cindy.
"Wait, why?"
There's Cindy. That's you as Death, Cindy.
Yeah.
Now you see why I can't stop seeing Death whenever Cindy's talking. You do look a lot like her. You have the black hair and everything.
I ended up creeping out someone that was taking pictures, and he's like, "Do a hero pose for me," and then he recognized my costume, and he put out his hand like that, and he said, "Don't touch me," and I touched him by accident, and then it was just like, "Oh my no, I'm gonna die." It was really funny.
Now, did he actually die though?
No.
Okay, that would have been the best story ever. Kill somebody. Well, that's cool. I love cons. I love the fact. I don't really enjoy necessarily crowds of people shoving together, and I don't like them when they're so crowded. I don't like panels when you have to wait like an hour and then you get in there and then they say, "Oh, you can only sit in the back corner standing up on your head." When they treat you like cattle, that pisses me off at a con. They should just figure out how many people want into there and But when
have a cutoff. When they
Yeah.
sell the tickets ahead of time on the website, they should really have like a limit to how much they can sell. That's what I learned from the photo op anyway with the Doctor Who. When I went to see Felicia Day and Craig Parker, and those guys weren't that bad at all. It was really fast and they were super nice. Can't say how nice those people are.
Yeah,
But,
I wish they would just have like a somebody prep the stars or the people who are putting together the panel how to do it right, because sometimes, like I saw the guy who played Malfoy, is that his name, from Harry Potter?
Tom Felton?
Yeah, I'm not into it. I don't, I'm like, okay, cool, I like Harry Potter, whatever. He was fantastic because he's done so many of these. He's like answering questions. They said, can I have a hug? He said, no, you can't. Next question. Da-da-da-da. And he was just really funny. It was like 30 minutes in and out. It was perfect. You didn't have to wait in a long line. The guy, Grant Bowler from Defiance, was a lot of fun. Big Eve player, by the way, Christine. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, he's a really huge Eve player. And he's trying to explain it, and people are like, can you just talk about Defiant? It was really funny. Like, really funny, made jokes. A guy who makes, like, replicas of, like, badges and swords and stuff gave him a replica badge of the one from his show. And Grant Bowler said, that's better than the plastic one they give me, so he's going to wear his real badge on the show that this guy
Nice.
made. Fantastic. So cons, when they're right, Christine, you have to tell me, I don't know how many you've been to, but they're magical. I love them. It's like you're hanging out with a bunch of people that there's no judging, people of shapes and sizes and colors.
Yeah.
And it's like a sports event if a sports were fun, and so it's just fantastic.
And actually, even when we were standing in a line, we were just turned around and talked to people around us and comment on their costumes, take pictures, and we made friends like all over the freaking place. It was just unbelievable.
Well, if you go back and rewind this, if you're watching this on YouTube later, and you look at that picture of Cindy, by the way, and see if you noticed her husband in the bed taking the photo. Was he taking the photo or was that a selfie?
No, I think he was reading, actually.
Like on his phone, just like shirtless with the covers coming up. And at first I thought, what? And you noticed it, and I thought, maybe he doesn't want to be in the photo like that. But
I thought it looked creepy, like I was about to kill him or something.
Or vice versa, one or the other.
Or yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan, what else have you been playing besides Elder Scrolls Online?
I've been trying to get back into the Secret World. I don't give it enough love. I really wish I did.
Okay. Well, but is this out of guilt or because you really think it's a game, or you just think,
Oh no, I adore the game. I need to upgrade my computer, to be perfectly honest. So if I'm playing the Secret World, I'm not doing anything else, and that's not always an option. So
how far along did you get in the Secret World?
Most of the way through Egypt. I'm a bad gamer. Smack my hand. No, go ahead.
I hit a wall in Transylvania. I'm about to beat the main storyline, and I can't because I went as a blade elementalist. Yeah, elemental and blade, and that's not the best combo, whatever. But I went through most of the game with it fine, and then at the end, I just can't get through it, and it's really pissing me off. So I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm also being told we're going back to Guild Wars.
The original Guild Wars?
The wife.
Yeah,
the wife told me we're going back to Guild Wars 2.
Oh. Okay. I was going to say the original Guild Wars is still there, and they keep it open, which I think is glorious. They did that. They just said no more updates. We'll keep it running. I think they have a cash shop in it, like you can buy virtual items. So probably to keep some money coming in. I don't know, but I think that's brilliant. But it's Guild Wars 2. I thought was all right. Guild Wars 2 was the same as Secret World for me. They're both fantastic games, and I knew this, but they didn't really grab me. Now the Secret World, though, I wanted to explore the mysteries, the puzzles, the lore, but then I kept having to play a freaking MMO. It was like, just stop with the sword stuff where I'm like every 5 seconds is this noise and the guns. And I'm like, can I just explore this world that they created? But no, I've got to grind up and make a level character. That part bothered me. But the rest of the game, I thought, man, if I could just play these little puzzles and games and mysteries. And I love the fact that the puzzles were hard. I don't like hard puzzles because I'm an idiot. But I love the fact that they were hard. It was like they did the work to make the puzzles hard, As far as like for me, I don't know about you guys, it's probably easy for you super smart people, but for me it was like, I just wanted to like walk around and role play, and I couldn't find a single person role playing. I even went to
there's a lot of role play. You just
I guess I had to find it or something, I don't know, but
go to Arcadia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Arcadia? Okay. Because you play in a game like in an MMO, and this is where MMOs I think are at their plateau. And I can now say this as somebody who works in the making an MMO department instead of the covering MMO departments. And now that I'm making one or working on one, on two of them technically, I don't play as many other games. I just don't have the energy. I play my own game. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? But I'm finding myself still more attracted to MMOs than any other genre out there because I love the worldness of MMOs. And the Secret World is one of those MMOs where they made the world, they did all this stuff, but they had to like attach. I don't know about what you guys thought, but all the combat stuff just seemed like drudgery to me. And then you had the really cool part. So it's like I can't sit there and get through the drudgery. That's
No, I really enjoy the combat. I love the character progression, even though it's really pissing me off right now, and I have to go back and actually grind in other branches and unlock other weapons and blah blah blah. I still really like the concept. I like that you can do anything that you can possibly want. That you
Yeah, I
can
like that,
unlock
yeah.
all these archetypes and classes and whatever, and you get an outfit when you complete one. Awesome.
I like yeah, I like to dress up and all that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I do like the challenge. It's not an MMO that you can just roll face through it. You do have to think quite a bit. The way I play, I don't play with the keyboard, which might be hurting me a little bit. I've got it geared on my Xbox pad or
Controller,
whatever because
yeah.
it's easier for me, and I get pains in my wrist, so I have to do it that way. But I find that circling around the monster and actually getting out of the way and thinking about what I'm doing is really, really fun.
Oh, I think that probably later on it does become more challenging and more interesting stuff like that. I'm just now really getting into some interesting puzzles, but I don't have time to grind anymore. I just want to experience something, and that's a tall order. Don't get me wrong; it's hard to make a game that's just.
I didn't find there's a lot of grinding on your first playthrough. If you can just look up what the best build is and just build on that and just get through the story, you don't grind that much at all. It's just it sucks when you find out that your build isn't good enough for certain encounters. That's my problem with it.
Though they did release a pack recently that's 4 investigation missions, so a good time to come back if you want to play with that.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's, I guess, free to play or whatever. And I love any game that has clothes in the cash shop. I just love the virtual shopping. I think it's so cute, fun, and all that. Christina, I wanted to ask you about this. You're an EVE Online player. Did you get your name on the monument?
I have my name on it twice.
Okay, I was going to get my name on it, but I was just going to sub and but then I realized I didn't give a shit about EVE anymore. I mean, I've played it since 2004, but it's just not my game. It's a great game, I guess, if you're into that. In fact, the game I play right now or work on, I'm community manager for, PR manager for Illyriad, takes a lot of its tone from EVE in like a fantasy version in your browser. But somebody was joking, at least I think Goonswarm has their little bee, right, as a icon.
Yes.
They were joking about they put their icon on the side of the monument. Somebody put it. And
there was a huge thread on the Reddit EVE subforum where people are basically just like, the running gag is whenever the goons anything inside of EVE Online, it's goons. So basically that whole thread turned into that with a couple people saying it's just like those latex stickers you could just stick on something and instantly peel it off. That's what it was.
I think what people it was
were, pissed off that basically they had defaced the player monument within 24 hours of it being up.
I think what it was Photoshop.
No, they actually have those decals on sale in an online store for $3.
Okay, so somebody physically took one and put it on the monument, the physical monument.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I would be pissed off too. I can't stand that stuff. Okay.
You're goons.
Well, it's just like, all right, you got us. I'm glad it was just a sticker, but now some poor schlep who gets paid $8 an hour has to get up there and scrape that damn thing off.
Oh no, they just peeled it right off immediately afterwards, as far as I know, anyway.
Okay, cool. I don't like those tomfooleries. They're just ruining America. Pray. Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about what I've been playing. I guess like you guys give a crap. We just want to talk about EVE and Secret World all the time. I haven't really been playing much. I've been looking back at Therian Saga, which is a fantastic potential game, but there's 2 things really missing from that game: basic explanations, tutorials. I don't buy it that a new game that's still just coming out of beta doesn't have that. They should have that. I don't want to go read it. I mean, even on their website, it's not available, so it just needs some basic guides for how to do basic stuff. I'm asking for secrets of the world. And 2, they need a report feature, not just a /block feature, a report feature for people in the chat, because literally the other night I had to sit there and listen to somebody talk about sex with another person for 30 minutes. And it's just just basic stuff. You'd be surprised how many independent games do not know how to allow a person to report poor behavior. And so what they say is, oh, we have a block feature, so that's just fine. But what they don't understand is if somebody's making real life threats or something in chat, you should not just block that. You should tell them about that so they can get that person out of the game. So it's absolutely ruined the game for me. I enjoy it, but the community is kind of a bunch of putzes, and I'm just like, oh my god. There's like 3 people I know on there that are pretty cool from Glitch, the game Glitch. Which, by the way, did you know they're thinking about re-releasing that? Some of the people took it.
Really?
Yeah, they're trying to relaunch and stuff because it's just a bunch of. They put it in open source, right? And you could run around the world for a while because your browser cached the Flash files or whatever, so you could run around the world for a while after it was closed just by yourself. It was really depressing. But somebody's basically trying to re-release it or whatever, so I'm excited for that. Other than that, I've been poking around Steam, looking at the sales. I've been playing Windborne still. Cindy, did you ever try that?
I was thinking about it, but I don't know if I have to find some time. Yeah, but it looks really cool. I'm very interested. We'll see.
Honestly, right now it's really just a really pretty Minecraftian game.
Yeah.
But what they're adding to it is like the little creatures in there. They'll give you a quest, and like you can, like one example was there was not a quest but an optional thing. You walk up and there's a busted bridge, and to train you how to build things, you rebuild the bridge. Well, the little monster comes up and he says, "Oh, thank you," and he'll cross the bridge. But if you build your own bridge on the side, just out of whatever, he'll cross that as well and say, "Oh, thank you." So they've got a smart AI. Absolutely, okay. It's really pretty. It's like $30 and up. It goes up to like $80, but I think that's because they'll add like an optional cat tail in your microphone.
Kitty.
Yeah, I decided to pick her up before she clawed her way up me. Sorry.
That's all right. They'll add like optional stuff later. And so, but for now, just for an alpha, it's absolutely fantastic. The community manager is real good. She gets on there and does like live streams, and she's pretty, so I bet she gets a lot of milady comments. Oh my god, it's gonna drive me crazy. I've got to start
a
blog.
The theme of this show today.
I just don't. Look. I guess I'm not used to them because I get them so rarely because I'm not a very pretty woman. But I don't know.
Oh, look, we give you a good shave, we'll give you some good makeup tutorials, maybe a little wig. You'll be fine.
Well, just take a montage.
There you go.
I am going to start the blog because I will go to my female friends' blogs and look at their comments, and it's like 30 comments, and half of them are milady comments. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to start pasting these on Tumblr. These are fantastic. Milady. Anyway, I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about. If not, email me and give me your examples. All right, so I've been playing that. I tried to get into Secret World again a little bit. I loaded that up a little bit. I couldn't get back into it. I'm in that kind of mode where I'm kind of burnt by the end of the day, and I opened my games folder, which now has like 45 games in it. MMOs, and mostly MMOs. I loaded DC Universe Online, let it download the entire patch, and then closed it before I started the game. You know the mode I'm talking about, right?
I've done that, yeah.
Defiance, I'm really excited for the new season. I loaded that and played a little bit, and I just was kind of like, and it's not the games, it's just that I'm tired by the end of the day, and a lot of times I just feel like getting away from the computer. So I've just been messing with other things. But there are still MMOs, still browser-based MMOs especially, I'm still so attracted to because of the social aspect of it. I do worry, though, that I think that, I've said this for a while massively, I do think that they're a very rare thing, and I think that the AAA market is showing that by its lack of real ingenuity with new MMOs. They're just kind of putting out a product, hoping to make some money from the IP, and then that's it. So I don't know where MMOs will be in 5 years. I hope they stick around in the aspect. But I think they're going to be more like MUDs. They're going to be a pretty rare little thing running around, You can find them, and they're fun to play, and there's some players, but they're going to be pretty. What do you think, John?
Well, there's shards coming out soon.
Oh, yeah. But that's, from what I understand, though, correct me if I'm wrong, is not like a massive world MMO, right? It's more of a...
I did a sit through with them recently.
Fantastic. Look.
Each shard is about 64 players, I believe, and you can connect multiple shards into a cluster. So you could have a shard, I can have a shard, we put them all together, and you can move from world to world. So
right. So what you're talking about is not technically a MMO, but is what I'm talking about is less of an open world massive thing, and more of this streamlined cat experience with tails in your microphone.
Sorry.
I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If it was, check this out. My old male cat has developed a love for his blanket. You know what I'm talking about? Like 11, 12 years old. He's never done this in his life, and he's kneading, and making biscuits. It's all cute. I don't know what Canadians.
Yep.
What do Canadians call it?
I mean, with her, the problem is that she likes to rub her face on the microphone, so I'm trying to keep her from doing that. So
That's better than what he's been doing, and he's like getting older, I guess. But it's like he's wound up like a steampunk. Cindy knows what I'm talking about. She's in the steampunk, like a steampunk cat. So he goes, and he'll be pawing. All of a sudden, he's like, and I'm like, oh, we discovered one day. We're just like, all of a sudden, he starts doing this nasty, and so you push him away, and he goes, "Arr!" Which he never has done in his life. So it's like he's turned into a pervert all of a sudden. It makes me so sad. I don't know what to do. I was like, I love him, and now he's like a pervert, and I have to probably kill him. But anyway, oh, what was I saying, Jonathan? You were saying about, yeah, I think that it's going that way, where it's kind of more streamlined, customizable, invite your buddy and his 10 friends, Minecraftian worlds, not necessarily, because to build a massive open world like Secret World or Guild Wars 2, that's expensive, and it's hard to run.
Yeah, and a labor of love, if nothing else.
Right, and like Elder Scrolls Online, I think what they did is they took a chance. They knew that to put out a game, they would get in a lot of people attracted from Skyrim, of course, but they would pull in a lot of the other just regular gaming fans because it has a name that they might be familiar with, but not like have played before. So, or maybe have played it years ago or something like that. So they just I think they just took a gamble on making some money from the IP. They're going to make some from the box sales, and it'll be free to play in less than a year probably. That's my guess. I don't know.
I think they were banking hard on the PvP aspect too, which I really have no interest in. But I don't know. I don't hear good things about the Cyrodiil area. I don't know. Yeah.
Jonathan doesn't know. He just makes alts. So.
Yeah. No, I got to 12, and yeah, I could go, but nah.
Is 12 a magic number in that game?
Well, I've gotten there twice, so far, yes.
It's like a gap between two zones, if I remember right. It's like where you finish the first major arc, I think.
Yeah.
Probably for everybody else. I just keep making all.
Yeah, I was impressed with how it looked. I'll check it out when it goes free or whatever, or gives a free weekend or something. I don't mind it.
Belgast.
I'll get him back on here. But I mean, I think it's a high quality game, like all AAA games. It was kind of like Rift. I think give it a good year to kind of put out some patches and get a community built in there, role players here and there and stuff. I think you'll have a good game. It doesn't really interest me right now. But then again, nothing really interests me right now except for like weird browser games and MUDs right now for some reason. So
The Division.
Division. What? Oh yeah. Division 66. That's right. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Well, sorry, there is that. There's the Division 66 Black Watchman ARG, which...
Oh, yes, the ARG, yeah.
Great but no, I'm thinking more Ubisoft's The Division.
I don't know what that is.
It's an upcoming MMO which...
If I only had a browser somewhere to... Oh, I do! Division!
Aha!
Tom Clancy.
Near future, post-apocalyptic. That looks fun, but I have no idea how it'll do as an MMO. I don't even know if they're going to have a subscription.
Oh, this is the one that has some tablet interaction. I think this is another one of those kind of pseudo MMOs.
Yeah.
That's wrong. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of games that are kind of like interestingly weird, where they're kind of like a mix of like multiplayer games and then like the story games that we've all had coming out and what have you. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they end up doing, because it seems like something that would potentially hit a broader player base and hopefully be a little more widely played.
Well, I said this over the years, and I started Twitter in 2009, but we all know this now. We're on a social network type thing right now. I think the popularity, the growth of social networks, Facebook, Twitters, all those Google Plus, YouTube, whatever, has made it, and I've said this a million times, that anything you do is social now. So if you're in the middle of a 6-player match, you share a screenshot with your 1,000 followers, it's still recreating that social feeling that you used to have to go to MMOs to get. We're always in some kind of...
yeah, or I mean, I know with EVE Online they just sank in Twitch.tv integration. I know a lot of other games are doing that too. Yeah. It's like you have that running, and I mean, most people, and I may be wrong on this, especially for gamers, have multiple monitors, so they'll like have the game on one side and then have the Twitch feed in the other, and they're like responding to commentary while they're playing. So I mean, even that's just gotten to be so big that it's social in and of itself.
That's exactly how I run my when I stream. I put my game over here in the chat room in the live stream over here, and it's a lot easier.
Well, you can do that on the PS4 now, which is fantastic.
I saw you playing that weird looking game. What was that?
It's Contrast, and I stopped doing it unfortunately because I was pissed off because at the moment Twitch does not save the live stream from the PlayStation 4. So until they
it
do
doesn't?
that,
Oh, that's lame.
no,
Okay,
I know.
Is it not in your settings at all on the
Right?
Twitch page?
No, there's no settings for it. It's just not available. So unless somebody gets off their ass and makes that available, then I'm not going to use it because it's no use for me because I needed to have it on my YouTube account.
You know,
and I can't have it if it's not saved, right? Yeah.
It's funny you're saying that because as I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at one of my I have 3 different Twitch pages for the different games, right? And the place where I indicated to save the place where I indicated to save a permanent copy of this videotape is in XSplit, the launcher, which has nothing to do with, it's not connected with Twitch necessarily officially. So I wonder where it is, if it is anywhere in Twitch's like dashboard or something. You know what I mean?
As far as I know, when I did the live stream, it definitely didn't do it. And then I looked it up, and it said that as far as we know right now, I don't know if it's a Sony decision or if it's Twitch. I think it might be Sony. They're not allowing their live stream to be saved on Twitch.
Okay.
So,
That it might just be if the text that, but on the Twitch, if you go to settings, channels, and videos, there it is. Automatically archive my broadcast. But that doesn't mean
it won't do nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't even do it for me when I am on it and I'm doing like playthroughs from my PC, like broadcasting with like OBS or something.
That's ridiculous. It's one of the best aspects of Twitch is not that you do it live. It's because you might have 2 viewers live, but later you share it and it picks up viewers, and you can put it on your YouTube. You could say, hey, it's a reference. You know, I mean, granted, there's a lot of useless shit on Twitch, just like there is on YouTube, but it's a reference that you might want later. I mean,
you don't even have the option of editing it and sharing it on YouTube or anything. I mean, that's why I was so excited for the PlayStation 4. So I'm hoping that they get their crap together and make it more intuitive for us to share it permanently.
Doesn't the PS4 have a save video separate thing that you can edit videos? I thought it had something to do with that, though. Maybe I'm wondering if that they don't want to take away from their own native.
You can, a friend of mine on Twitter has just edited a video because there's a new app right now on PlayStation 4 where you can edit your own videos and you can save it to the drive and share it that way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, they might work that out. It might be, that's ridiculous for such a major console bragging about its connection with Twitch, not being able to save the Twitch videos. And now I'm mad, Cindy, for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think I'll use my pool with Sony and get that fixed. All right, we're going to get, guys and girls. If you want to join us on the show, of course, you can just tweet me there at @Bo_Hyman. You can find the show at gamerhangout.net. Gamer Hangout's Twitter is @GamerHangout. Surprise, surprise. We have all of 22 followers because everybody follows through mine and through my Google Plus page, which I have to keep it that way, so that's kind of ridiculous. But if you want to follow us or have any questions or topics you want us to cover, we're back. We should be back in the swing of things now. I think we took a week off there. I can't even remember why. But I think Amy will be back next week, hopefully. And anybody wants to come on, though, or if anybody has a guest they'd like us to interview, we have a few devs on here occasionally. If you want to jump on, if you're a developer, indie developer especially, and you want to talk about your product, come on, exactly. Leave comments in the YouTube section and all that. Christine, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See, you're supposed to say where you like your radio station.
Oh, I'm supposed to be a shill. Okay, hang on.
Yes, I tell you every week. I tell people this.
Outside of Game Hangout, I DJ Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern and Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on www.saradio.fm.
It's a fantastic show. It's a lot of fun, and your Minecraft thing was a lot of fun too.
They're actually talking about upgrading it.
Are they going to use the Minecraft official servers? Aren't any better or nothing, are they? They're not going to like you. Okay.
No, they're talking about like changing the mods out and putting more oomph into the server, so to speak.
Sweet. Cindy, say goodbye to everybody since you're only here once every century.
Bye, everybody. You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Game Latte, on my new website, well, new name anyway, geeklatte.ca, and on Twitter @geeklatte.
Thank you, my lady. Your blouse is lovely today, but it matches your eyes. Would you like a flower? No, you gotta watch it. Go on YouTube and look up Amy Schumer's right now, ladies and guys, and look up Amy Schumer's "Milady" clip. It's so funny. It's not the exact term that we've been using for those guys for a long time. They're like "Milady," and then they get mad at you if you don't like them back, and you just met them, that kind of thing. It's hilarious. There was different terms from before, like men's rights activists, stuff like that. Hilarious. And Jonathan, say goodbye to everybody, who you are, and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm Jonathan. I'm on Twitter at Ardua, and I write for MMOgames.com. So goodbye from Ireland. I have my blanket ready, so I'm going to go sleep now.
Thank you, my lady. You need to come back on the show anytime, okay? We need more beards on the show.
Only if we have a day off in Europe.
I cannot. What are you wearing the blanket for again?
It's 2 a.m.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, wow. Damn, I'm sorry, man. All right, my name's Bo Hyman. You can find me at bohyman.com. You can find me. My book actually is coming back from the editor in about a week. So if you're into female superheroes, spaceship pilots, tiny robots called Jeopardy, and all sorts of cool stuff. If you're into kind of sci-fi fantasy stuff, all based around the planet Mars, check out my book. It'll be out probably a couple weeks. I'll let everybody know. It's called Anna the Powerful. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually going to illustrate the cover here soon. So I'll be tweeting that out. Thanks, everybody, for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you next
Bye-bye.
weekend. Every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. Go watch Game of Thrones. Bye.